Hi, I'm Lena. Welcome back to Shepherd's Cottage. It's been a while. I know. It's a lot of life things happening, schools, kids graduating, just a lot of life stuff. I wanted to touch base with what we were working on when we left 3 months ago. I guess the biggest thing that I'm working on and I'm still trying to work on is the temperature blanket. We'll talk about that and also some of the other things that we have going on at this time. So let's just jump into this first, because I'm a little sad, a little disappointed about how things are going, mainly because the yarn that I used is no longer available at Hobby Lobby. They discontinued it. So the yarn that I was using for this project is called the Yarn Bee Yarn ID yarn. So I had made a spreadsheet for the different weeks for the year. Obviously, it's a temperature blanket for this year, 2026. And I have completed this many squares and I have some remnants here of some of the yarn that I need. I do have a bag of yarn here. This is all that I have for the project. I had a color key to go by, and anything 20 and below was for indigo, which is this nice color here. I'm hoping we'll never have to see this color, but you never know. I might need maybe 1 or 2 squares of this. If I do need 1 or 2 squares of this, I have 2 skeins of indigo. 1, 2. I haven't had to use this yet, thankfully. I hope I don't need to, because if I don't need to, I can repurpose this color for maybe fawn if I needed fawn. But I have 2 skeins of fawn, so I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out as I go right now, because like I said, I can't get this yarn anymore because it's been discontinued. So I'm really trying to figure out how I can still complete this project with the yarn that I have. I do know one thing. I'm no longer going to use, for some reason, I said I was going to use this color here. This is Bluestone. It's very pretty, and I said I was going to use it to join the squares together, but after putting like 3 squares together, I just didn't like it. I can show you what it looks like. It's this one here. So this is what it looks like sewn together here, and I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's too cool for the colors. I mean, these are kind of cool colors, I think, but this is just, I'll find a different color for that and keep my Bluestone for, what is Bluestone? Goes for 60 to 69. So we're going to be hitting those temps maybe next month. Right now we're still 70s, 80s, low 80s. So yeah. So hopefully next month we'll be using the Bluestone a lot more. I have not even made 1 single square of Bluestone yet. So I have many skeins of these. I have 7. I have 7 skeins of Bluestone. So that'll be more than enough, obviously, for those squares. So yeah. So this project was supposed to entail 56 squares total. So right now I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17 squares. So yeah, we still got quite a ways to go, and I may or may not have enough yarn to do the project, and I may have to find a substitute for maybe 1 or 2 of the colors. I know right now I'm completely out of thistle. Well, I lied. This is all of the thistle I have left here, and I don't think it's enough to make a square. Maybe it is enough to make a square, just barely, but still, I have 10 thistle squares currently, and I need at least 2 more. There's no way I'm getting 2 out of this. I know that. So I'm gonna have to find something close to this to complete those colorways. Once I need more, because all I have left are oat and fawn, very similar in color with the lighting's not good. So yeah, So that's the thistle. And then I have 5 Himalayan salts. I need 6 Himalayan salts. And then we talked about the bluestone squares. I have enough yarn for that so far for bluestone. Rose water, I need 4 squares. I haven't made any rose water yet. That's this kind of pretty pinkish color right here. And I should have known, right? When I bought this yarn on clearance or whatever, clearance reduced price, $1.49. Yeah. I guess never buy clearance yarn if you want to make a project that's supposed to last throughout the whole year. Lessons learned. So I'm just a little bummed about that. I am going to try to salvage this project for the year. But like I said, I got to find some substitutes or try to look on eBay or somewhere like that to find this exact yarn in this colorway. So we'll see how that goes. But I think it's still a doable project. It's just going to take some time finding the yarns that I need. Because I think I'm going to be kind of picky because this yarn has a certain feel. It's not scratchy or itchy. It's kind of smooth and everything when you work it up. It has a nice texture. That's one of the reasons why I chose to go with this yarn. But yeah, so that's the status on the blanket. It's a work in progress, obviously. We still have the rest of the year to actually get it done, but it's just going to be a little bit more complicated not having direct access to yarn readily available at my fingertips. Oh, and when I talked about the method for stitching it together, I forget which one did I say I was using for that. The flat slip stitch seam is what I used. It lays nice and flat and everything, and I like that about it, but I was really going for like a patchwork kind of look, right? So this lays nice and flat, that's a plus. However, I really liked when I did this bag here. This is one of the projects I just completed, not all the way, but almost done with it. It's like a patchwork kind of look to it, and this is what I was really going for the temperature blanket. This is another project that I was working on. These squares I have had since last year. These squares were also in the video from 3 months ago, but they weren't put together yet. So now they've been sewn together, put into this bag here. I will be including a liner. Here's a color that I chose for the inside. The reason I have to do that for the inside is this here, because I did not carry my yarn properly and I was left with all this in here. So I don't want that to be seen. So I will have to line the bag, and I'm going to use this one to line the bag with. It's just going to take me a little bit more time because of the construction of this bag. It has the points, so that means I'm going to have to cut it out to where it's not going to show the back side of each square. So yeah, that's just going to take me a minute. Some other things that we've been doing, let's see, recently, and we've been in the Soaring Kingston since beginning part of this year. So I want to say about 6 months now, and we're doing really well over there. We have our 3D stuff there, 3D print stuff. We have some crocheted items, and we had some sewn items there. I think I pulled all the sewn items and I moved those to our new location, another consignment area that we have in Paulsbo, Locker 61. It used to be another antique store. We have a nice little spot in there that we actually got to go in and build up like all the furniture and everything like that. So that was a lot of fun, and choose our own colors, like whatever we wanted to paint our furniture and things like that. So that was fun. So we've been trying to keep both places stocked and having some of our items in there between the crochet, sewn, 3D printed, and at Pulsebowl we get to put in some little knickknacks that we may have around the house that are just, they're not being put to good use, so why not put them into the store and see if somebody else wants to purchase them and, you know, actually I don't know, use them instead of them collecting dust in my house. I'm really excited that we have our things in both of those consignments, one in Kingston and one in Paulsville. So yeah, it's been keeping us busy. And also too, this past weekend, we attended a event that my sister was holding in University Place, Washington. And it was for Pacific Northwest Poke Fest. Some of the donations were going to Mary Bridge Children's Hospital, which is super awesome. So that was a really good event. So we did pretty well. We had only one table of items because at the time, you know, busy with things in the home and stuff like that, and trying to focus on the stores and then make some time for this one-day event. Yeah, we did well enough. We had 3D print items and we did some crocheted items, and I'll put those up here on the screen. We didn't do too many because, like I said, we just didn't have a lot of time. Just reassessing the year and how things are going. We're trying to make more time for Shepherd's Cottage and documenting more of the things that we're doing, the things that we like to do. Maybe incorporating our little sneakers more often. It was fun today. We got to take Maya. She's our oldest German Shepherd. She's 5 years old, and she got to come with us today to do some restocking in Kingston and in Paulsville. So that was super fun. She got to get a lot of treats and get some loving on by other people, and she loves to give kisses. And right now she's just taking a nap because she's probably exhausted. But I think she had a good time, and I think it'd be cute to see more of her in our videos, especially since she's getting on there in age. So I hate to think about it, but it'd be a nice little keepsake for us to have down the line. But enough of that. So that's just our little update as of now. For the foreseeable future, working on the stuff for the temperature blanket, trying to get that all squared away, and just staying on top of the consignment locations that we have going on, and making sure we have enough product there, and I guess just seeing what does well and what doesn't do well there, because consignment shops are really a lot different than the markets, which I was reminded of this past weekend going to the in-person market for the Pacific Northwest Poke Fest. It is aspect of actually being present at a market versus just putting your stuff into a shop. It's more personal. You get to see the people, you get to interact with the people. Even if they're not buying anything, you're interacting with people, which is awesome. It's the bigger human picture aspect of everything. I just love seeing the reactions too of somebody grabbing something or just talking about it and seeing the excitement that they have, which is always a plus, right? As creators, we love to see that. And then when we have stuff in the shops, we're not really there to see like people's reactions or things like that. You just know stuff is leaving. We just have to be a little bit more strategic about what we put in our shops right now, to make sure that things are moving and it's not just standing still. So that is what we have been up to. We are getting ready for some fall stuff. I have some fall Halloween-y things in mind to get into our stores. And since I don't have much time between now, well, I guess it's August, between now and we'll say early October to try to get the stuff. I mean, as soon as I make something, I want to get it there just because it's that season and everybody loves Halloween. Probably as much as I love Christmas, right? They'll have Halloween stuff year round, and if I could, I would have Christmas stuff up all year round, but I don't have the space for that. Yeah, I have some things in mind, and we'll probably talk about those in the next video. Right now, just trying to keep up with the things I want to do. This is one project I want to do for myself, the temperature blanket. I do have another one. I have the yarn up there for it. I want to make myself a sweater. The granny square, where it's just like a square. You start in the arm or whatever and it just grows. That seems easy enough. So I want to give that a shot and see how that goes. I should have more than enough yarn for that. And that yarn has not been discontinued. Knock on wood. Yeah, that's one of my projects that I would love to get done before the end of the year for myself. The blanket, the sweater, and staying on top of my shops, and just keeping myself more accountable to get these projects done And also it shows the progress too that I make, not only in doing the item but in your skills. So it's very helpful that way to do the YouTube channel, just have it documented that way. So yeah, pretty excited about what we have to come, and just hoping that all goes well with the blanket. If you've done a blanket, or if you're working on a temperature blanket this year, what struggles have you come across other than yarn being hard to find? Oh, I was in Michael's the other day, not for this project, but another project. I think I was working on ghosts. Yes, I'm working on ghosts already. I ran out of vintage white, and the vintage white I had obviously was not the same color lot as what's in the store. I was like, it's super yellow. I was like, that's too yellow. I don't want to use that. So we were searching in the store, and luckily my husband, who's taller than I am, was able to find a color lot that was closer to the one we had in vintage white. So he saved the day that way. But there was also another woman in the store who was also looking for yarn for her project, and she had her project in her cart there too, trying to match up the colors, or maybe a different brand or something that was, you know, hard to find. So yeah, I know that the struggle is real out there with finding the yarns that we need, and they're just not as accessible. I mean, I love to go into a store and touch and see the colors myself, because sometimes photos that have been put online don't really show the true color. So yeah, it's a struggle, but I think we'll get through it. So it should work out. It's just going to be a process, and I know it's going to be a tedious process. So that's why I'm a little exhausted over the whole thing and everything. So yeah, we just got to keep going. So that's what I will be doing, working on the projects that I know I want to complete, and working on newer projects as well. That's all we have for this video. Catch us in the next one for fall makes that I'll be working on, and I may have worked some up already. So yeah, we will see you then. Take care. Bye.